And this Wednesday morning, I'm joined by my colleague Anne Veronica from the digital desk. And good morning, lovely to see you this morning.
Good morning, Grace. Glad to see you too.
All right, let us begin with the aircraft that, of course, there was a head-on collision aircraft yesterday and 2 people are confirmed dead, including a student and the pilot. Perhaps what are Kenyans saying about that incident?
It was a student and a trainer who lost their lives. Actually, netizens are very saddened by that, and they're saying it could have also gotten worse because it was a crash between that plane that was training people and a passenger plane. So you can imagine the passenger plane had 44 people on board. It could have gotten worse. And the fact that these 2 planes were from the same airport, netizens are like, when there was no air traffic control people, and but they're really saddened by the situation, and they're hoping that investigations will be done and that the correct outcome will be announced to them. Well, it has been said, Murkomen has said that investigations have started being done, but yeah, netizens are really saddened by the situation.
And of course, the biggest question is how the 2 collided on air, because it's very unusual for 2 planes to actually, be heading in the same direction at the same time, or even opposite at the same time. Are Kenyans saying anything about that as well?
Yeah, that's why they are saying what was happening to the air traffic control people, like, because it never happens. There's only 1 plane taking off. That's right? Yeah, and this time round, 2, actually, it's a head-on collision. Yeah, so there are so many questions about the air traffic control.
Yeah, of course, that is very strange. But of course, as Anne said, investigations are ongoing as per Transport Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, who ordered the investigations to actually take place. And of course, here on KT News, we're following up on that, and we'll be giving you details as and when we get them in regards to that story. Aside from that, internet users of Instagram and Facebook yesterday, what happened?
Well, these 2 sites were down, and one thing that stood out of this whole conversation is what Elon Musk said. Elon Musk posted a screenshot saying, if you are saying this, that means our services are on. That was very shady, knowing that he took Twitter and transformed it to X, and there has been so much between Elon and Mark Zuckerberg. So the fact that he posted that, knowing that Instagram and Facebook are down, that was very shady. But yeah, netizens were like, what was happening? And these netizens, the community of internet users, they have grouped themselves. If you are an Instagram user, you're said to be a slay. If you are a Facebook user, you are said to be a boomer. A boomer is that generation of old people. And which one are you, by the way, before I go far?
Hey, we will talk about that. But now I pity the slayers, the slayers of IG.
Yeah.
Who, of course, I wonder what they were doing. Did they maybe you need to?
I think at that time you had to bond or TikTok or just join Twitter. Twitter is said to be for the savages, but yeah, so people are saying, like, if you are using Instagram and Facebook, you had to like join and see whatever was going on in Twitter. Yeah.
And Twitter. I can imagine if we say that IG is down, and there's some people who to them that is business for them. Yeah. They post their work there. For example, if you have a partnership with a company and you want to post there, of course it comes with some downs, because do you think, if I can just ask, say you're working for a company, will they understand that the nini is down?
I think they'll have to understand, because there is where my numbers are. But then that's why people are saying you can't have if you're really into this social media business, you can't have just 1 account. You can't depend on Instagram only. So you have to have Facebook, you have to have Twitter, you have to have TikTok. Because you can imagine, if I was an Instagram user only, I only use Instagram and I have 100K followers, and then all of a sudden it's down and my TikTok followers are like 1,000. My clients will be a bit angry. But if I had 100,000 TikTok followers and IG followers, that will make a lot of sense for my clients. But yeah, people are also scared that they would lose clients because of that problem.
And allow me to ask, you said that IG guys are the slayers. TikTokers, what are they?
Do they have that? They have, but TikTokers are said to be dancers mostly. So I don't know, but I use TikTok a lot and I can't even dance to save a life. Oops.
Ama, you're just a consumer.
I think I'm just a consumer. I'm not a content creator on TikTok.
All right. So aside from that, let us now take a look at Super Metro. Of course, Super Metro is known as a company that is very, they're very strict, they're very composed, and people love the Super Metro. But of course, there was an online clip that saw a driver of one of the matatus of Super Metro turning onto the wrong route, right, Amma?
Yeah, you can imagine, and it was actually a highway. You're making a U-turn on a highway, which is one way, like, seriously.
Crazy.
Netizens are not happy about that, knowing that, like you've said, Super Metro is known to be an orderly business. And there was a time people were saying it's a cult because it is raining, loafer travelers is there without, okay, not without, but with very few passengers wanting to board, and Super Metro, line ya Super Metro imefika, like, it's adi imeanza kumake.
I think because of this claim.
Yeah, but you see, so now with this video, but yeah, Super Metro, the company explained that they have apprehended the driver, and people are also saying that the driver is the one who was on the wrong, not the company. But then, you know, you're supposed to represent your company well. If you and I got into trouble, it will be standard, not Grace and Veronica. But yeah, so I hope Super Metro will be able to change that, the view on people, but I think people will still stick to it. I don't know.
The U-turn thingy, and is not new.
Yeah.
Because I think a week we saw Nairobi Senator, that is
Karen
Nyamu, was also also involved in such.
For her, it's different because, well, it's the same thing, but for Karen Nyamu, she was recording and telling the driver, okay, but we've been a confidence. So actually, netizens are not happy about how people are breaking rules, bearing in mind the number of accidents that are going on, and actually the number of public transport accidents, they have started to grow. And you can imagine, if I'm boarding a Super Metro and I'm not trusting it, if I'm boarding any public transport vehicle and I'm not trusting the driver, that's very scary, for real.
Yeah, because I can imagine the Super Metro, how many people are on board? Like, how many people are you putting at risk just because you wanted to take the shortest route?
And not only, actually, and not only the ones who you have in that car. What about the ones who are driving, who are on the right side? Because on that video, you can see there was a certain black car that was trying to squeeze in. The driver is on the right, but the Super Metro driver is on the wrong. So if anything happened, you can say, life can say, oh gosh, the black car driver was on the right, let's save this one. No, it's going to happen either way. So yeah, people should just take extra caution on the road. It's a road, guys. Let's not joke with that.
All right, as she said, of course, precaution starts with you. And of course, I feel like people also have a voice. Do you think, like, you can tell a driver, I'm a Kenyan drivers, where, hey, they might,
I can actually share an incident. Tuesday I was taking a matatu and the driver kept emergency braking or whatever it said, and actually the makanga even fell. So it got to a point and the passengers were like, hey, simtushukishe tu basi, we can walk.
So what happened? Mlishuka?
Atukushuka because, you know, wanaogopa police. But yeah, he tried, but the driving was so off, and it was like at 7 p.m. And there's so much traffic, and you keep braking like that to the point that the conductor anaanguka.
Okay, yeah. It's crazy, but it's good to be safe. Remember, safety starts with you, and the country needs you, your family needs you, so it's always good to be safe. And also be mindful of, if you're a driver, be mindful of who you're carrying, and also the next driver passing by, right?
Right.
All right, and that is where we wrap up, KTN. That is the segment of What's Trending this Wednesday morning. And thank you so much. And we're now going to take a very short commercial break, but please stay with us for more after this.